Hi, and welcome to the Rainbow Shelves, where I reverse transcribe and always have good vibes. Today we will be reading Pirate Girl, written by Cornelia Funke and illustrated by Kerstin Meyers. I hope you all enjoyed Pirate Girl, a wonderful story about perseverance and cleverness.
Captain Firebeard was the terror of the high seas. His ship, the horrible Haddock, sailed faster than the wind over the waves. Whenever the horrible Haddock appeared on the horizon, the knees of the honest seafaring folk would shake like jelly. Captain Firebeard had a fearsome crew. His helmsman was Morgan O'Meany. His cook was Cutlass Tom. Bill the Bald, Willie Woodenhand, Crooked Carl, and 20 more terrible pirates just like them made up the rest of the motley bunch.
When Firebeard's crew boarded a ship, nothing was safe. They stole the silver spoons and the captain's uniform. They stole the ship's figurehead, the pots and pans, the hammock and the sails. And of course, they stole all the casks of rum. But one day, Firebeard robbed a ship that he really should have left alone. On board was a little girl named Molly. Molly was off on a trip to see her grandma. The pirates leapt on board with an ear-splitting roar. Molly tried hiding among the ropes, but Morgan O'Meany soon fished her out. "What shall we do with her?" he said with a smirk. "Take her with us, you fools!" bellowed Firebeard. "Her parents will pay a handsome ransom for such a little treasure. And if not, we'll feed her to the sharks." "You'll be sorry for this," cried Molly, but Morgan O'Meany rolled her up like a herring and tossed her on board the horrible Haddock. When the sun had gone down, Bill the Bald dragged Molly to see the captain. "All right, tell me your parents' name and address, or else," growled Captain Firebeard. "Will not," Molly growled back. "If I told you my mother's name, you'd be so scared you'd cry like a baby." At this, the pirates howled with laughter. So Molly was put to work. She peeled potatoes and cleaned boots. She polished cutlasses and patched sails and scrubbed the deck. Soon every bone in her body ached. 3 times a day, Firebeard would ask her name and address, but Molly just smiled. "Feed her to the sharks!" roared Willie Woodenhand, but Firebeard ground his teeth and said, "She'll talk before long." Every night, the pirates had a party. They drank rum and staggered across the deck, danced on the ship's rigging, and bawled out the rudest of songs. But Molly had a plan. While the pirates were carousing, she wrote secret messages and plopped them into empty bottles. When the pirates were safely snoring in their bunks, she tossed the bottles into the sea. Molly did this every night. But one night, the pirates partied until dawn. But this time, they fell asleep on the deck. Molly tiptoed over the tangle of arms and threw the bottle over the ship's rail. Splish, splash! It landed into the deep, wide sea. "Hey, what was that?" yelled Morgan O'Meany. The pirates staggered over to the rail. "It's a message in a bottle!" they all cried. "Bring it to me!" shouted Captain Firebeard. "Now!" The pirates dived to the bottom of the sea. They searched and searched, but Molly's message had bobbed away. Soaking wet, they all crawled back onto the deck, cursing. "Tell me what you wrote!" demanded Captain Firebeard, but Molly just kicked at his wooden leg. Firebeard turned as red as a lobster. "Now it's time to feed her to the sharks!" he roared, but a cry from above stopped him. "Pirates!" shouted 10-Pint Ted from the crow's nest. "Nonsense!" scoffed Firebeard. "We're the only pirates around here." But he was wrong. A ship with red sails was speeding towards them. A giant black flag with a skull and crossbones fluttered from its mast. "Who in the name of Neptune's beard is that?" stuttered Firebeard. "That's my mom!" Molly grinned. "It's Barbarous Bertha herself!" wailed the crew of the horrible Haddock. Firebeard turned as white as a sheet, and the pirates rolled their eyes in fear. This time, it was their knees that were shaking. And Bill the Bald's false teeth almost flew out of his mouth. The ship with the red sails drew closer and closer. Barbarous Bertha stood at the prow, swinging her cutlass. "Wait till she sees my hands," said Molly. "They're red and raw from peeling potatoes.
That will make my mom the maddest of all. Firebeard and his pirates groaned with terror. Soon, barbarous Bertha was alongside the horrible haddock. Her ferocious crew swung themselves over the rail with a terrible roar. "We're here at last, my pirate girl," cried barbarous Bertha, throwing Molly high into the air. "We got your message. Your grandma was beginning to wonder where you were. Now, how nasty can we be to these piratical nincompoops?" "Well," Molly said, "that's easy."
From that day on, Captain Firebeard and his pirate crew had no time to think about raiding ships. Willie Woodenhand scrubbed the deck. Morgan O'Meady and Cutlass Tom peeled vegetables from morning until night. Captain Firebeard polished barbarous Bertha's boots 14 times a week. And Molly was finally able to visit her grandmother. The end. I hope you all enjoyed today's story. Remember to like this video and subscribe to the Rainbow Shelves. Remember, we have a lot of colorful books to go through, and if you ever have one to suggest, let me know, and I'll check among the shelves to see if it's there. If not, I'll see if it's at my local library. Keep remembering to have colorful good vibes and have a wonderful day.